Well, hello everyone. Beautiful Winnipeg. Hot as hell, but you know, it's always gonna be a little bit of rain. I hope it rains. That's how hot I am. I'd rather work outside and get a nice shower in at the same time. This is a car. I wanted to do a video on the oil leak. It was leaking like crazy. It's the oil pressure sensor. Not too big of a bitch. Yeah, gotta drop the AC compressor out of the way. But today, if you're from Winnipeg, if you know Winnipeg, pothole city here. So this is what happens to your control arm. You see a nice crack there. I noticed that these are actually bolt-in ball joints. I believe the part I got isn't, but whatever. I'm gonna try to make this quick because it's late. I want to get home, maybe eat something. So you're gonna need a 19. I'm just gonna use a spanner for your ball joint. There's a good view here. You see that? Ball joint under there. That's gonna be a 19. The other way is removing the axle, but then you have to undo these bad boys here. So you can just do it with a spanner or a box wrench. You're gonna pop in there, do that, hit that with the hammer right there. That'll pop out. I'm gonna loosen these first. That's gonna be a 17. You're gonna have a 17. You're probably gonna need a breaker bar. 17 and a box wrench. So very minimal tools. And then there is a third bolt back there. Can you see that? Right in there. That's also a 17. If you watch any of my other videos, you know that they like to season to the bushings, but this looks like it's had a healthy dose of oil throughout the years. So, I mean, it's not that old either. I believe this is a 2009 Suzuki Swift. In the States, it's SX4. I watched a few other videos, and it had a different ball joint style, where it's kind of like a stud. The nut doesn't go on top of the ball joint like this. It has a bolt that goes through and locks it in. So on the websites for parts, it shows it as a Canada only model, so that could be it. So if you're not from Canada, maybe look at a different video because the sizes are different. I got the sizing from someone else, and I believe one of these wrenches was a different size, but I could be wrong. I got a lot going on in my life, so there you go. I'm gonna make this short, like I said. I'm gonna bust these loose, these two back ones first. We're gonna release the pressure because you got pressure from the shock. So these control arms, as you can see, it's down. So you're probably gonna have to pry this down, or we put the wheel back on, lower the car. That'll compress the shock, and you'll be able to bang this ball joint out. So when I get there, I'll show you. Alright, so I got it out. Looks like someone replaced those with maybe Moog or Mevotech, same with those. That's the downside. You save money, you just buy a ball joint, bolts in, easy, but I mean, this bushing was gone already. So I mean, if the arm wouldn't have broken, it's still looking at bushings in the future. A couple notes, I didn't bring a small hammer. If you have pickle forks and you're gonna be scrapping the ball joint anyways, pickle forks are great. I didn't bring them, of course, and I didn't bring a big small hammer. So once you undo those, I was able to spin this out of the way. Great, sweat went on the phone, and now it might be doing something funny, I don't know. Okay, so I spun it out, kind of so it's sitting like this, and then from behind, I was able to swing my big sledge like that way, laying under the car and swinging it back this way to the ball joint. Warning about that is without that connected, you're going to want to pull the axle out. So you're going to have to put something against here. I used my foot, but I mean, some people might want something more. Or some people might need more. So I'm going to put this in, And the very important thing is you only go snug on these bushings, and then you got to put weight on the car. That's why I have this block to sit the tire down, and then I could crawl under and tighten those the rest of the way. You just go hand tight, because as you can see, this is nippled. If you end up putting these down on and tightening them down, you basically, what you would say is you preload this bushing with too much. That's not the way it sits. It naturally wants to sit this way, so you're gonna get premature bushing wear, because the natural, okay, let's see if I can explain this better. This bushing isn't so much because it's up and down, but a bushing like this, so with an unloaded suspension, you're some guy looked at me like I'm crazy, but whatever. There's lots of crazy people in Winnipeg. So say it's pointed down like this, leaves the curb. So now you tighten this down, and this sleeve, this rubber is molded to this sleeve. So now when you set the suspension down, it's gonna turn. But imagine this bushing turning as well. So that's preloading the bushing. And now most of the suspension travel is gonna be up like this. Right? Yeah, when you're driving, you're not getting too much air off things and going down. So you want to load the tension on the bushing in its natural state, sitting on weight. I think I explained that good enough. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me how to do better. But anyways, I'm going to pop these on, and I'll show you exactly the setup with the board and the wheel on. We'll torque everything to what my arm says it's going to be. They're big bolts. It's gonna be pretty tight. Ball joints are gonna be, you know, with a crescent wrench like this, it's almost gonna be as tight as you can go. I mean, without forcing it like a lunatic, you know. It's the ball joints are press fit in a, right? It's beveled. What do you call that? Tapered. So it fits on and then it gets snug. That's why you gotta hammer them off. It needs that snugness because the ball joints turn inside there as well as going like this. They turn as well as going like this. So I'll get this on and maybe go eat a nice $3 frozen pizza. I don't know. Oh, I got chicken burgers. Oh yeah. I don't know if I can make it to the store for buns. Pizza it is. Okay, I just ran into another little hiccup because that bushing naturally wants to be down. It's tough with this arm to be able to swing it in. I'm gonna put this bolt in and just put the cap on just so it stays center, and then I'll be able to swing it in and then push this down into place for the ball joint. So there, I just put the bolt in, screwed it on until it's tight. I should be able to swing this down and in. I need two hands. We'll get the other one in, we'll pop the ball joint in, and that'll be all she wrote. Alright, so how it works out, we got the ball joint in first, and again, I just capped that nut. Sorry it's dark, there we go. And we're just gonna pry this bad boy in. I don't know if you can see, but I gotta kick that in there now and line up that bolt. Just so you know, I literally just kicked that in like this. I thought I was gonna pry, but I just kicked it. So, and now you can line it up still freely. His shock mounts are gone. I don't know what's up with that. Someone replaced it wrong. So I do have extra play in here. That might be making it easier. It might be making it harder. I don't know. So, I just tightened that all the way down. I just figured there's no preload. The bushing acts differently. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. So, one other little thing, kind of unrelated. This wheel was stuck on. I had to sludge it off. Normally, I'd clean up these hubs, but I don't have everything here. So, if you've ever pressed a bearing or a bushing, used a press, you know that alignment is key. So, what you're going to do is just slowly alternate one nut, and you'll see it pressing on the hub. And I was able to get all these tight, and you know it's seated. The wheel hasn't been spinning. If you just try to ream one on, it's gonna go unbalanced and it's gonna fucking bind up, and you're gonna have issues tightening it. The wheel might wobble. So anyways, I'm gonna put this wood under, I'm gonna tighten that last bolt, and that'll be it. So as you see, tire on, and now you'll be able to see the natural position of that control arm. You see it runs pretty horizontal. So I had to do about maybe 2-3 full turns of that bolt. Like, yeah, I put it on pretty loose. Like, just when I wrench it on, just so you feel it touching, and that's good. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Like and subscribe. And, well, I don't know if those guys care. I must have been cheaper. All right. Have a good one. Love you all.